Hi guys, so today's outfit of the day is one that I actually wore in a previous video, and there were quite a few people wondering what it was, if it was a shirt, if it was a dress, and so I thought I would make a video and show you guys the sort of full-length view of it. It is a dress, it's a tunic dress, and God knows you're going to get sick of that word. Tunic this, tunic that, all over the place. It's made by a local designer, and you know, obviously I love to support local designers, not only just to support their art, but also because, you know, a lot of the times they don't make them in mass quantities, so you're only going to see, you know, one per size usually, and so that's really, really great. And I chose it, obviously, for the colors in the pattern, because it's the most distinct thing about it. And here we go. So that's the dress right there. It's a very sort of like an A-line, very retro type of dress. I've got it with these wedges, and sorry for my head being cut off there. Perhaps I can maybe do this a little bit better. Maybe like that. And the accessories are very, very sort of tone on tone. I've chosen gold and just one ring, and basically because the dress, there's so much going on in terms of the color and the palette that I really wanted the accessories to sort of play a supporting role, so to speak. And you know, if I put that against there, it just all, as you can see, it's all uniform. It kind of all blends in together. And I will say that this dress looks much better on when I've actually got some color, and in the summertime I do walk around a lot more so because of, you know, the great weather, and I do get quite a bit of color on my arms and legs, so you know, when I am tan, it certainly picks up on all this sort of gold, and so bear that in mind because, you know, I'm a bit pasty right now, so it does look better with some color. And I've worn it with so many, I mean, I've worn it with flip-flops, I've worn it with strappy sandals. It can work anyway. I just specifically picked these shoes. These ones here. Those there. Actually, why don't I take it off for you? Because I love them. I love them so much. They're Michael Kors, and they're just a fantastic, fantastic shoe. And you know what? This is, I will admit, this is a very rare time that I actually suffered a little bit, because you know what, I'm just done with that. I'm done with suffering for fashion, and I didn't think I was going to suffer. I mean, these are meant for comfort. He designed these beautifully. I mean, as you can see, it's a wedge, so it supports the whole foot, so you're not teetering on a heel. He's made it in suede. Suede obviously gives a lot. It's very, very soft. The inside is all lined with leather, so it breathes when you're walking around quite a bit. And you know, he's got a little soft pad of suede there as well for your heel. It's rubber lined, which I love. Gosh, you know, I just wish they would all make rubber lined shoes, because it just absorbs the impact of each step that you take, and especially when it's something with this much of a rise, it's brilliant to just put rubber soles on everything. I don't know why more people don't do that. So, you know, again, he's constructed that phenomenally. But what I think my problem was is that they didn't have half sizes, and I'm kind of a 6.5. A lot of my shoes actually are 6s, but I'm kind of a 6.5, and I believe they didn't have the half sizes, so it was either going into a 6 or going to a 7. And the 6 fit totally fine. Like I said, I wear a lot of 6s, so they fit totally fine, and I went with that rather than going a size up, because I thought with suede, they're going to give more, and then I don't want it to stretch out and all that sort of stuff. But because it's got such a high rise and your foot really, really slopes in at such an angle that the circulation was being cut off on my little toesies here when they would pop out, and it was almost like, you know, frostbite or something. Well, you know, not that I know what frostbite feels like, but I can imagine. And they totally went numb, completely numb. And you know, when your feet hurt, you're just cranky, you're just in a bad mood all the time. And so help me God, I was not going to give these up. No, not without a fight. So I took them to the cobblers to get stretched. It worked a little bit, but he's also, because he's lined that all with leather, so it's not going to give as much as if he didn't line that with leather and it was just a straight suede. So he was very, very smart. I mean, wonderfully crafted shoe. But, you know, a pain in my butt that he did that because it was much harder to stretch out. So I was doing this. I mean, sitting at home just, you know, doing that and wearing them around the house for an hour or two at a time on carpet just to try and work them in some. And for any other shoe, I wouldn't even bother. Forget it, I'm done with you. But with this one, I mean, I just had to make it work. I just could not give up on it. I'm so glad I didn't because now they're fantastic. I mean, it did take a little while and my footsies really were like, Mom, what are you doing to me? But, you know, after some finagling and shenanigans, I did get it to finally work. So the long roundabout way of basically saying if you do happen to find a wedge with this much of a rise, you might want to go just a little bit up just because of the angle that your foot's going to go in. It's better to almost put a little pad here to sort of keep your feet propped up into the back of the shoe a little bit more, and obviously the only way to do that is if you have a little bit more room to spare. So perhaps going into a half size bigger, if you're a halfer like me, would actually help and make them a little bit more comfortable. So thanks so much for watching. Hope you enjoyed that one.